In a tense UN Security Council chamber, delegates from conflicting nations sit just inches apart, their faces a mixture of suspicion and hope. They're about to decide whether to turn decades of hostility into a fragile peace. But can words really disarm decades of fear and anger? Peacemaking in international conflict isn't just about talks. It's about mastering a dance on a knife's edge between war and peace. Let's unravel the secrets behind that delicate balance. Traditional peacemaking tools still lead the charge, but today's conflicts are trickier than ever. How do old strategies hold up in a world haunted by terrorism and asymmetry? Think back to the Camp David Accords. Egyptian President Sadat and Israeli Prime Minister Begin sat tensely, backed by U.S. President Carter, navigating a brutal history to craft a peace treaty. The bargaining was like a high-stakes chess game, every move calculated, bluffing underneath, and timing everything just right. Mediation is the art of a trusted stranger stepping in. Imagine a tug-of-war where the mediator gently shifts the rope's angle until both sides lose their footing and cooperation feels like the only option. This dynamic, third-party magic helps conflicting actors see new possibilities beyond their zero-sum thinking. When direct talks stall, arbitration enters. It's a bit like calling a referee into a neighborhood fight, someone neutral whose verdict binds everyone. While risky, this break-the-deadlock method sometimes forces reluctant powers to accept terms they'd otherwise avoid, proving peace sometimes needs a judge, not just discussion. Peacemaking isn't just treaties and signatures. It dives deep into minds and communities, transforming foes into partners through surprising social-psychological tools and workshops. In Cyprus, decades of division kept Greeks and Turks apart until problem-solving workshops brought small groups from each side face-to-face. Sharing personal stories cracked stereotypes wide open, turning abstract enemies into relatable humans. That personal touch shifted entire community mindsets toward peace. Distrust is the invisible armor fueling conflict. Social psychological approaches act like a code breaker. They reveal fears and biases driving hostility. By naming and reframing these emotions, they dissolve walls faster than brute politics ever could, turning paranoia into cautious curiosity. Peace education is the slow burn that changes game rules. In post-conflict Sierra Leone, schools introduced peace curricula that taught kids empathy and dialogue skills instead of violence. Years later, those children became adults who rejected war as an option, proving that lasting peace grows from youth. What if peace isn't a finish line but a new way of living? Conflict transformation goes beyond ending war. It reshapes relationships and systems. In Northern Ireland, the Good Friday Agreement stopped bullets but didn't erase decades of mistrust. Conflict transformation pushed deeper, initiating community dialogues, shared projects, and truth-telling processes. This social healing rebuilt trust on ash piles, proving peace is a process, not a one-time event. Fighting over land or power often masks identity wounds. Peacemaking now digs under that surface. Think of it like removing a tumor, not just bandaging a cut. Addressing cultural fears and historical grievances can prevent conflicts from simply resurfacing in new forms. Today's peacemakers aren't just diplomats, they're trained architects of peace. Courses now blend psychology, negotiation, cultural literacy, and crisis management. Like master chefs blending complex ingredients, they prepare well-rounded peacebuilders equipped for today's messy, multi-layered conflicts. Remember that tense UN chamber from the start? Now you see every handshake, every pause is backed by decades of methods, psychology, and deep transformation. Peacemaking isn't just signing papers, it's rewiring fears and turning enemies into partners. Next time you face a tough conflict, try stepping into that other person's story first. It's the smallest step with the biggest peace payoff. Subscribe for more book summaries like this one.